Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are absolutely safe and secure in your respective regions and are in the process of being vaccinated or have taken both the doses of vaccination. This seems to be the way going forward if one has to get back to a slightly more normal world. As far as the bond markets are concerned, in the month of August, the yields were fairly soft, ranging from 5 basis points to about 15 to 20 basis points on the lower side. One would wonder, is this a miracle given the fact that almost everyone on the street is chiming in the same tone that interest rates in India have bottomed out? Well, the answer to that is the Reserve Bank of India monetary policy, which was announced in early August, where, of course, the decision was not a surprise. It was a status quo. And there was an announcement of an additional INR 2 trillion rupees worth of variable rate reverse repo auction. But the beauty was, A, the tenor was not extended. So most market participants were expecting maybe 14 days to go up until 28 or maybe 40, 50 days. That did not happen. Also, it was not an immediate drain out of that 2 lakh crores. It was a graded I would say extended exit normalization over the next 4 weeks, which culminates sometime in September. So clearly, the Reserve Bank of India does not seem to be in a hurry, though among the MPC members there was one vote which was a dissent vote for accommodation. Market seems to have drawn comfort from the RBI decision and subsequently the minutes that whatever happens is likely to be more gradual in nature rather than abrupt. Also aiding sentiments have been the global factors, specifically the US, where again the US Fed officials have stated they don't seem to be in a significant hurry to exit their accommodative bias, or for that matter, try to raise rates abruptly. So, a confluence of these factors, coupled with the fact that the core banking system liquidity as we speak is in the vicinity of INR 11 trillion rupees or rupees 11 lakh crores, that has buoyed the sentiments in the bond markets. We also did see the release of India's Q1, that is April to June quarter GDP data, where the GDP growth came in at about 20% annualized year on year. Now, yes, it's a positive sign given that you were admired by the peak of the second wave of the pandemic. Second is the last year, same time base effect definitely did play. It was a negative 24% real GDP growth in April, May, June quarter of 2020. However, it was marginally lower than what the street was expecting. So, all in all, no major negative surprises for the bond markets. Clearly, going forward, the keenness would be to see how there will be this graded departure of the rate stance. For starters, we've already seen the VRRR, or the variable reverse repo rate amount, enhanced from INR 2 trillion rupees to INR 4 trillion rupees. We are of the view that we could see in the next policy, which is due in October, probably an incremental amount and also probable extension of the tenor, which is something which we had expected in the previous policy as well. This maybe then could be followed by an upward movement in the reverse repo rate while keeping the repo rate constant. Reason, we expect the corridor to shrink, the gap between the repo and the reverse repo, which was at 0.25% pre-pandemic, could probably normalize, which is right now at 0.65%. And then probably when things stabilize in FY 2023 could be the time when one could actually contemplate hiking the repo rate. For now, things continue to be on a status quo mode. There is going to be equal impetus on growth, as is there is a watch on the inflation front, which seems to be transient, but one can't be complacent. Equally important not to be paranoid or get carried away by the inflation numbers, which seem to be fairly within the RBI's tolerance range as of now. What should the bond market investors look forward to? it sounds very cliche, it sounds as if it's a repetition, but the fact remains that carry portfolios, to our mind, will continue to be the way fixed income investors will continue to manage their allocations. So durations in the band of 1 to 2 or 3 years, which is low to moderate kind of durations with a reasonably good portfolio YTM, being mindful of the portfolio quality could be the position which investors could take to perch themselves into fixed income. Going forward, even categories like liquid and overnight, given the tsunami of liquidity, even if it recedes, will be gradual, could continue to hug the reverse repo rate, which is currently at 3.35. The steepness of the yield curve offers enough and more opportunities for fixed income investors, A, to stay invested, B, despite the volatility right through that period, and 3, most importantly, try to keep your investment horizon quite close to the portfolio duration of the respective schemes to the extent possible. Cutting off duration in anticipation of rate hike or parking yourself in very short term instruments or fund categories and buy time to probably see a rate movement and then deploy may or may not really work at the current juncture, given the steepness of the yield curve, allowing you to participate in the higher YTMs from day one. That, we believe, is a more potent strategy in an interest rate scenario which is likely to remain stable, sideways, and have a gradual tilting upward bias, but the word over here is gradual. On that note, stay invested, take care, happy investing.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.